Let me tell you something, ladies. A man can say a lot without opening his mouth. We're not always good with long conversations, deep emotional paragraphs, or poetic confessions. But we do speak through our actions, through our presence, and yes, through our hugs. See, when a man hugs you, he's giving you a truth he might not know how to put into words. That hug, that moment, that pull you in connection, it's a message. Every hug is a statement about how he feels, what he values, and what he's trying to show you without saying it out loud. When a man holds you tight, he's telling you, I choose you in this moment. He may not say those words, but the embrace speaks for him. A man doesn't hold on to something he doesn't care about. A hug is where his guard drops, where his pride steps aside, and where his heart gets just a little louder. And listen, the way he hugs you matters. There's a difference between a polite hug and a man grabbing you like he's anchoring his whole day on you. When he hugs you slowly, that's him saying, I want to be here longer. When he hugs you from behind, that's him saying, I'm protecting you and I got you. When he hugs you and sighs, oh, that sigh is everything. That's him releasing the world because he feels safe with you. Men don't always know how to say, I love you, I miss you, or I need you. But we know how to show it. A hug is a man's safe language. It's him saying, I feel at home with you. So don't underestimate that moment. Don't brush past it. Pay attention to the way he holds you, because sometimes the hug is the confession. Sometimes the hug is the truth. And sometimes the hug says what his heart has been trying to say all along. When a man hugs you, most people think it's just a simple gesture, something casual, something small. But what you don't realize is that for a man, that hug is often the closest thing he has to a spoken confession. Men are not always raised to be expressive with emotions. We're taught to be tough, to keep things inside, to not let our feelings spill out. But that doesn't mean we don't feel deeply. It simply means we express differently. And one of the clearest emotional messages a man sends is right there in the way he holds you when you're in his arms. That hug is not just physical contact. It's a form of communication. It's honesty without words. It's vulnerability disguised as a simple pull-in moment. When a man hugs you and allows you into his personal space, he's doing something he doesn't do for everyone. Men guard their emotional energy. They don't give it out freely. So if he pulls you close, if he wraps his arms around you, even if it's brief, understand that something genuine is happening beneath that moment. A man's hug is often him saying something he doesn't know how to verbalize. He might be saying, I care about you, but doesn't know how to phrase it. He might be saying, you make me feel safe too, even though he'll never admit it out loud. He might be saying, I need you right now, in a way that feels softer and safer than using actual words. Words feel risky. Words can get misunderstood. Words can get rejected. But a hug, that's one moment where he gets to show you the truth without fear of saying too much. You can feel sincerity in the way he holds you. You can feel intent in the pressure of his arms. You can feel meaning in the quietness of his breathing when you're against him. Sometimes the entire story is in that silence. Men also hug differently depending on what they feel. There's the light, distant hug he gives to someone he's not emotionally invested in. You'll feel that distance immediately. His arms barely connect. His body stays angled away, and the hug ends fast. That hug has no message because there's no emotion behind it. But when he hugs you like, he's trying to memorize what you feel like when his arms wrap around you fully, when his chest touches yours, when his hands rest on your back like they belong there. That's not accidental. That's not casual. That is him speaking through touch. Sometimes a man hugs you because he's worried he might lose you. Sometimes he hugs you because he's relieved to have you. Sometimes he hugs you because he's overflowing with feelings he hasn't found the courage to articulate. But the hug always reveals the truth. A man who doesn't care won't hug you with intention. A man who isn't invested won't linger. A man who isn't emotionally open won't allow himself that level of closeness. But a man who draws you in, who lets his guard down, who hugs you with genuine emotion, he's telling you absolutely everything he's too afraid to say. When a man holds you tight, longer than necessary, with just a little more pressure than a polite hug requires, he is revealing a part of himself he doesn't easily show. Men don't cling to anything or anyone without meaning behind it. We're taught to be controlled, steady, contained. But when a man hugs you and the embrace isn't quick or casual, when he actually holds you, that's him allowing his emotions to come to the surface. That tight, lingering hold is his unspoken way of saying he values you, that he sees you as someone important, someone he wants to keep close, someone he doesn't want drifting away. A man doesn't hold tight to a woman he feels nothing for. That kind of embrace takes intention. It takes vulnerability. It takes a willingness to drop the guard for a moment and let you feel what he normally keeps locked inside. In that tight hug, he's telling you he's invested, that he's not just showing affection, but allowing connection. Men don't always know how to navigate emotional expression. It can feel intimidating, risky, or unfamiliar. But holding you tightly is his way of anchoring himself to the moment and grounding himself in the feeling he has for you. It's his way of saying, I'm here. It's his way of showing you. He's not just passing by. He's choosing that moment with you, choosing closeness, choosing presence. And the interesting thing is, when a man hugs you tightly, he's not just giving you comfort, he's seeking it as well. He's finding peace in your arms, stability in your presence, something steady in a world where he's expected to be strong all the time. You can feel his sincerity in how he holds you, whether he pulls you in with both arms, or if he wraps you in that full embrace that almost feels like protection. When a man is invested, his hug becomes different. It becomes slower, deeper, more intentional. He doesn't rush it. He doesn't break away first. He stays just a second longer because that moment means something to him. The longer he holds you, the more it reveals how he feels. Time inside a hug is a truth teller. A man who's indifferent won't stay long. A man who cares will always linger, even if only for a breath more. That tight hug is also his way of calming himself. Sometimes a man holds you close because he's fighting emotions he doesn't want to release. Sometimes it's because he's overwhelmed by how much you matter to him. Sometimes it's because he's scared of losing you, scared of messing things up, scared of admitting what you mean to him. And so the hug becomes a safety net, a quiet confession, a grounding point. It's the one place he feels he can express without words, without pressure, without judgment. You can feel it when a hug carries emotion. His body relaxes differently. His breathing changes. He might press his chin gently against your shoulder, or his hand might slide slowly across your back, as if he's making sure you're still there. Those small gestures inside the hug are his feelings slipping through the cracks. Men don't always say, I care about you, or you're special to me, or I'm attached to you. But they do show it. And the tighter he hugs, the louder that message becomes. A tight hug from a man is not random. It's not empty. It's not meaningless. It's him letting you feel the truth he hasn't spoken yet. The truth he's still trying to understand himself. And if you pay attention to the depth of that embrace, to the way he holds you like he doesn't want the moment to end, you'll sense everything he's been holding inside all without him saying in a single word. When a man hugs you slowly, with deliberate care and attention, he's giving you a message that goes far beyond the surface. A slow hug is never accidental. Men don't always take their time with physical affection unless they mean something by it. The pace, the steadiness, the lingering nature of the embrace, all of it speaks louder than words ever could. A slow hug is a man's way of showing presence, of saying, I'm here. And I'm choosing this moment with you. It's a quiet declaration, a gentle insistence that he values what's happening between you in that exact instant. When he doesn't rush away, when he doesn't pull back quickly, that's opening a small window into his heart, letting you feel the connection he often keeps bottled up. A slow hug carries intention. It's not just about touching. It's about connecting, about allowing time to pause and absorb the emotions that come with closeness. When a man hugs you slowly, it's a sign that he's mentally and emotionally present. He's thinking about you in that moment, not distracted by the world around him, not worried about what comes next, not planning the next task. He's focused entirely on the exchange between the two of you. And that focus is rare for men because we are often trained to compartmentalize feelings, to act and perform rather than pause and reflect. The slow hug breaks that pattern. It's a conscious decision to be vulnerable, to show that he cares without having to say the words out loud. Slow hugs also indicate comfort and trust. When a man allows himself to linger in your arms, he's signaling that he feels safe with you, that he doesn't have to put on a mask or maintain distance. That slowness is intimate because it requires patience. And patience comes from genuine affection. A man who hugs slowly is letting you into his space. And with that gesture, he's also letting you into his emotional world. You can sense the weight behind the moment. You can feel that he's not just passing through, he's present. He's intentional. He's choosing to be close to you, and that choice is significant because it's rare for men to slow down in a world that constantly demands speed, efficiency, and control. The physicality of a slow hug also matters. When he holds you in a steady, unhurried way, his arms communicate security and warmth. His body language is aligned with his intent. There's no awkward tension, no hurried pat on the back, no glance toward the clock. Instead, this calmness, reassurance, and focus. That measured pace tells you he wants the moment to last, that he's cherishing the closeness. Sometimes in that slow hug, a man is trying to memorize you, the curve of your shoulder, the rhythm of your breathing, the way your presence feels against him. It's almost as if he's saying silently, this is important. You're important. Slow hugs are also a form of emotional expression. We often struggle to articulate feelings like love, care, or appreciation. Words can fail, be misunderstood, or feel inadequate. But a slow hug bypasses all of that. It communicates without speaking, expressing what's too deep or complicated for language. It tells you that he wants to be close, that he wants to care, and that he's aware of how much he values you. That measured, unhurried motion is his way of showing affection in its purest form. It's a small, simple act, but one loaded with meaning, one that reveals his intention, his presence, and his heart in a way nothing else can. When you experience a slow hug from a man, pay attention to every second. Every fraction of time in that embrace is him telling you who he is, how he feels, and what you mean to him. It's the quiet language of sincerity, patience, and emotional honesty, all wrapped into one deliberate, unspoken message. When a man hugs you from behind, it's one of the most revealing gestures he can make because it shows a level of intimacy and trust that few people are allowed to witness. A hug from behind is different from a face-to-face embrace. It carries a sense of protection, of safety, and of quiet assurance that he's there to shield you from harm, even if that harm is just the pressures of life. When a man wraps his arms around you from behind, he's literally holding you close without needing to see your face, without needing to say a word. That physical connection is his way of saying, I've got you, I'm right here, you are safe with me. Men don't give this type of hug casually. It's reserved for someone they care about, someone they feel responsible for, in a way that goes beyond obligation. That embrace shows that he's thinking about your well-being, your comfort, and your emotional safety all at once. A hug from behind also communicates trust. To allow someone to wrap themselves around you like that requires you to feel secure. It's an unspoken understanding. He's showing you that he's willing to be close without needing constant validation. And in return, he trusts you enough to let him in this way. Men are naturally protective, but when that protection is paired with intimacy, it becomes a silent promise. By hugging you from behind, he is demonstrating that he wants to shield you from the world while simultaneously being part of it. He's saying without words that he is a safe place, a refuge you can count on. That hug isn't just about closeness, it's about creating a shared space where you both feel calm, grounded, and secure. The physical sensations of a hug from behind also carry meaning. You feel his chest against your back, his arms snug around your torso, his hands resting lightly but firmly in a way that communicates presence and intention. There's no rush, no awkwardness, no distraction. Everything about that hug is deliberate. His body language tells you what words cannot. He's committed, he's aware, and he's emotionally present. The positioning of his arms, the steadiness of his stance, even the gentle squeeze he may add. All of these are his ways of conveying emotions he might otherwise struggle to articulate. He's letting you feel his care, his protection, and his attachment simultaneously, without a single syllable leaving his lips. Men also use the behind hug as a way to express emotional support. Life can be heavy, and men often struggle to verbalize feelings of empathy or concern. But in that embrace, he communicates understanding, solidarity, and reassurance. It's as if he's saying, I see what you're going through. I'm here. You don't have to face it alone. There's a tenderness in that position that is rarely shared casually. It shows that he's attuned to your needs, that he's willing to be physically present as a form of emotional support. That level of awareness and sensitivity is not given lightly. It's reserved for those he genuinely cares about and feels connected to on a deeper level. A hug from behind also conveys a sense of possession, but not in a controlling way. It's more about anchoring himself to you, letting you know that you are important, that he values your presence. That gentle, encompassing embrace speaks of attachment, intimacy, and a desire to be close in a manner that is protective yet affectionate. When he hugs you this way, he is expressing emotions that may be difficult to verbalize: love, care, concern, and trust, all in one seamless motion. It's a language of the body, a message that bypasses the complications of words, a way for him to communicate sincerity and devotion without needing to explain it. The behind hug is also a form of reassurance. Every subtle pressure, every steady hold, every gentle squeeze is his way of grounding both of you in the moment, creating a sense of stability in an unpredictable world. It's his silent promise that no matter what happens, he is there, and you can count on him. That hug is loaded with meaning, a combination of protection, affection, and emotion. Openness that reveals exactly how he feels without requiring him to speak. It's one of the most intimate gestures a man can offer. And when you feel it, it tells you more than words ever could about his heart, his intentions, and his care for you. When a man hugs you and sighs, that simple exhale carries more meaning than most people realize. A sigh is a release, a small but powerful expression of emotion that often goes unnoticed. But when it happens in the middle of a hug, it tells you everything you need to know. Men don't always know how to articulate their feelings: love, attachment, relief, longing. But a sigh is one of the rare ways those emotions slip out naturally. That sound, that quiet breath, is an acknowledgement of the connection he feels, an unspoken recognition that being close to you matters. It's almost like he's saying, without words, being here with you makes a difference. I need this, I want this, I value this moment. That sigh is him lowering his walls, letting you into a part of him he doesn't often share with anyone else. A sigh during a hug often indicates that he feels comfortable enough with you to be vulnerable. Men are not always encouraged to show vulnerability in society. We're taught to be strong, composed, in control. But emotional release can feel foreign or risky. That's why a sigh you embrace is significant. It shows he trusts you enough to let go for just a moment. In that moment, he's not trying to perform, impress, or control. He's simply being himself. That sigh is his way of sharing the weight he carries, the tension he feels, and even the relief of being able to let it go in your presence. It's a quiet, intimate confession, and it speaks volumes about the depth of his feelings. When a man sighs in a hug, it can also signal a sense of emotional relief. Life can be stressful, overwhelming, and exhausting, and men often internalize that pressure rather than talking about it. When he leans into you and exhales, it's a physical manifestation of letting go, a way to release the tension of the outside world. That sigh becomes a bridge between his inner emotional state and the moment he shares with you. He's expressing, without language, that being close to you provides comfort, that your presence has a calming effect, and that he feels a sense of peace he may not experience elsewhere. That quiet exhale is a profound, wordless communication of trust, connection, and emotional release. A sigh in a hug can also reflect longing or desire. Sometimes he may be overwhelmed by the intensity of his feelings for you, and the sigh is a way to release the emotion that words cannot capture. It's subtle, almost imperceptible, but it communicates a depth of attachment, a sense of yearning, and an acknowledgement of how important you are to him. That small, almost involuntary sound shows that he feels deeply in it, allowing himself to experience those emotions fully in your presence. It's a rare glimpse into a man's emotional world, and it is delivered in one of the most natural human ways possible, through breath and touch. The physical context of a sigh matters as well. When paired with a hug, it amplifies the intimacy of the moment. The exhale combined with the embrace creates a rhythm, a shared emotional language between the two of you. You can feel the weight of his arms, the steadiness of his body, and the subtle shifting of his energy as he releases tension. That sigh is not random. It's a manifestation of his emotional state, a reflection of trust, affection, and connection. It's him showing you that he feels safe enough to let go, that he's anchored by your presence, and that the moment is real and meaningful to him. When you notice a man sighing during a hug, pay attention. That small sound is not casual. It is significant, loaded with meaning, and a window into his inner world. It reveals relief, trust, vulnerability, and emotional attachment all at once. The sigh is his way of speaking without words, and it carries more truth about his feelings than any conversation could. It is a subtle, intimate gesture that tells you he values you, that he feels a deep connection, and that being with you provides comfort, stability, and emotional fulfillment that he doesn't easily share with anyone else. A man's hug often speaks louder than his conversations because it bypasses words entirely and communicates directly through touch, presence, and energy. Men are not always comfortable expressing emotions verbally, especially feelings like love, care, attachment, or vulnerability. For many men, words can feel inadequate, risky, or easily misunderstood, so the hug becomes their language, their way of conveying truth without needing to explain it. When a man hugs you, every movement, every pressure, every moment of that embrace is intentional, whether he realizes it or not. That hug carries meaning, emotion, and intention that words alone often fail to capture. The truth of what he feels is embedded in the way he positions his arms, the steadiness of his stance, and the timing of the hold. A hug communicates emotional states that a man may struggle to voice. Through the hug, he can show care, affection, and devotion without needing to say, "I love you" or "I'm here for you." Men are often taught to be stoic, to handle their emotions internally, and to maintain control at all times. But in a hug, that control softens. He allows himself to be present with you, to connect, and to share a part of his inner world without words. His body does the talking. The pressure of his embrace, the warmth he offers, the steadiness in which he holds you, all of these are subtle but powerful messages of his feelings. Every hug is a small confession, a demonstration of investment, and a tangible way of showing that he values your presence in his life. The intensity and manner of the hug can reveal the depth of his emotion. A casual, brief hug may suggest politeness or familiarity, while a long, firm, and intentional hug indicates a man is emotionally invested. The way he holds you, the slight adjustments of his hands, the way his chest presses against yours, all signal meaning. When a man allows himself to stay close, to linger just a bit longer than necessary, it's his unspoken way of telling you that you matter to him, that he is present not only physically but emotionally. A hug becomes a vessel for expressing emotions he may find difficult to articulate, a way to communicate attachment and care without relying on potentially clumsy or insufficient words. Hugs can also convey protection, reassurance, and stability. When a man wraps you in his arms, he is signaling a sense of responsibility and commitment. Even without saying a word, he is demonstrating that he wants to be there for you, that he wants to provide comfort and security. The hug is a silent promise. He is showing that he is anchored, grounded, and present for you. It communicates that you can lean on him, trust him, and feel supported even when words are absent. This physical closeness is not just about affection. It is a manifestation of reliability, emotional openness, and connection. A hug from a man also communicates patience and attention. By taking the time to embrace you, he is showing that he values the moment, that he is willing to pause his world and focus on this shared connection. Men often rush through gestures because of social conditioning or discomfort with prolonged displays of emotion. When a man takes the time to hold you, it signals intentionality. It's a deliberate act of care, a conscious decision to convey his feelings without speaking. This patience reflects thoughtfulness, respect, and a genuine desire to connect. Finally, the hug transcends verbal communication. It encapsulates emotion, thoughts, and intentions in a single, unified act. Men may struggle with vulnerability in conversation, but a hug bypasses all barriers It allows him to express what words cannot. Through the simple act of holding you, he communicates care, trust, attachment, affection, and emotional presence simultaneously. It is a language in its purest form, a message of honesty and authenticity that resonates deeper than any sentence ever could. A man's hug tells the story of his heart, his intentions, and his connection with you in a way that is immediate, tangible, and profoundly truthful.